Welcome back, and in this video I'm going to be telling you about 4 indicators that I think are the best indicators to use as a beginner. So this is just a chart with just price action. It has no indicators on it, and as you can tell, it looks pretty simple. Buy right here, sell up here. But what about all this price action in the middle? So let's think about this as a live trade. If you were watching this price action go up and down, you would have freaked out and sold somewhere in here, which is not bad. You would have made a profit, but how do you know where to buy in? So then if you turn on too many indicators, then it just looks like a jumbled mess and you can't tell what in the world that price action is actually doing and where to buy in and where not to buy in, unless you're an expert on this. And by expert, I mean you pretty much have to be the book on this, because I'm pretty proficient and I make a lot of money at this, but I can't even tell what's going on right here. So I'm going to show you the 4 indicators that I use primarily when I'm actually in a trade. And these indicators, once explained, are very simple to use and very simple to look at and understand when you're actually in a live trade. So I would recommend subscribing real quick, because I'm going to have more and more in-depth videos on each one of these indicators so that you know how to use them and you can become a proficient trader. So the first indicator, and by far my favorite indicator to use because it follows the price action, is the short-term SMA. Now, if I had access to only one indicator, I could use only one indicator to actually trade off of, this is the one that I would be going with, because it is so simple to look at, so simple to use, and very simple to understand. This indicator is what I make most of my money with. I use this on every single trade, every single time. There is not one trade that I make that I do not rely on this indicator. So the reason that I love this indicator, and it is so simple, is because you just wait for the green candlestick to rise and hold above that line, and that's where you want to buy. And once there's a red candlestick that goes below that line and holds below that line, that's where you want to sell. Very clear cut, very easy to use. So let's just give an example real quick. You would buy right here, sell right here, and then you would be able to buy in again right here and sell out up here. And just off of that quick example right there, you can see how easy it is to actually use this during a live trade. Because if you were just looking at price action alone or another indicator by itself, then you wouldn't know exactly where to buy in and sell out. But with this one indicator, you can see it pretty clearly where to buy in and where to sell out. Now, the second indicator that I use is also a moving average line, and this is the long-term moving average line. And so the way that you use this is for longer-term trades. So the way that I use this is by looking to see if it is acting as a support area or a resistance area. Also, I can look at this and how this line is going up right now. It is showing me that the overall trend direction is bullish. It can also do the same thing by, if it's going down, then it shows that the overall trend direction is bearish. So I can use that to see what kind of trades I want to do. If it's going down, then I want to maybe short a stock. If it's going up, then I'm looking for long trades. And then as far as the resistance area or the support area goes, if it's a support area, then once it hits that line, then I know that it's probably going to go back up unless it confirms by reversing. Then if it's acting as a resistance area, if it hits that line, then I know that it's probably going to go back down. So let's just put both of these SMA lines together real quick and see how simple it actually makes this trade. So the first thing that I'm going to be looking for right here is price strength growing above that long-term SMA line. And so you can see right through here, there's plenty of price strength, and then it really starts to grow over on this side. And then the next thing that I'm looking for is the green candlestick to rise above and hold above that blue SMA line. And you get that right here and right over here. So you would enter right here and you would exit right here and here, where the red candlesticks go below and hold below that blue SMA line. So this makes for a very simplistic and very easy long position trade. And the next indicator that I like to use in every trade is the RSI. Now, the RSI is going to tell you whether a stock was oversold or overbought during the time period that you have selected. So in this time period that I have selected right here, you can see that right at market open, the price dropped to the oversold area, which is below the 30 marker on the RSI. And then you can see about an hour later, it went to the overbought area, which is above the 70 marker on the RSI. But then while there's still growing price strength, you can see that the RSI pretty much stays above fair value and in the overbought area. So alone, this indicator could possibly get you in a little bit of trouble, and you wouldn't see all of the moves that you can make. Because as you can see, the biggest run up on this is this second area right here. So the first move you would have been able to see and make, but the second move you would have never saw it if you were relying just solely on the RSI. And now the last indicator, and one of the most important, which these are all important once you combine all of them, is the volume. You gotta have volume to create price action. So let's look at this volume down here, and I'll show you what I'm talking about whenever I'm talking about volume and price action. So the volume right down here, you can see that the taller bars mean there was more volume. And what happens when there's more volume? You can see the price runs up. Now, just because there is volume doesn't mean the price is always going to run up, because as you can see from these bars down here, some of the volume bars are in the red. And whenever there are red bars, that means that there are more shares being sold than bought. And that's going to make the price go down. And you can see it reflecting in the price action up here by all the red candlesticks. Another thing we're looking at with volume is to make sure that there is enough shares being sold and bought so that we can get in and out of trades quickly. And how that works is if there's enough shares being bought whenever you sell your stocks, then that means that there is more opportunity for your stocks to be bought, and therefore you can close quickly. Now let's put all these indicators together and see how it all comes together, and I'll go over these entry and exit points so you can see how much sense it makes and how easy it is to use and look at. Now you can see all of this together, and you can see the short-term SMA, long-term SMA, the RSI down below that, and then below that is the volume. So we're going to look and we can see the volume looks good. We have plenty of volume for this trade. RSI is looking good for the first part of this trade, but not very favorable for the second part of this trade. And that's why I like to use multiple indicators, but not too many indicators, because too many indicators, as I showed you at the first of the video, gets pretty confusing, but just the right amount. I like these 4. That's just my personal opinion. But just the right amount can make it really simple and really easy to use, and we can actually see very clearly where to enter and exit these trades. So now we're looking and we can see plenty of price strength above the long-term SMA line. And then we can see right here, here's a green candlestick rising above and holding above that blue SMA line. So I'm going to buy in right there, and we're going to sell out right up here where the red candlestick goes below and holds below that SMA line. And so on this first part, you can see that the RSI is pretty favorable for this, and it works out between all 4 of the indicators that it looks like a good trade. Now the second part, the RSI is taken out. The RSI is not showing a good trade, but we know it's a good trade because of all the price strength area above that orange long-term SMA line. Our volume looks good, and we have a green candlestick rising above and holding above that blue short-term SMA line. So we're not going to exit until right up here, and really you don't even have to exit up here, but the market is about to close, so we're going to go ahead and exit, take that profit. And that's how all these indicators put together works. And so if you found this video helpful, click the links down below, like, subscribe, and come back for more.